No, well, Piper the Gates of Dawn, and there's Essence of Sorrow. That's for me, those records. And then there's, of course, Odessey and Oracle. I mean, this is the one record that's unlike all the other ones because, like Ralph pointed out, it's not really rock and roll. It's something else. It's beyond. It's pop. It's perfection. It's classical. It's baroque. It's like there's so much to it. And I guess I got on that trip out of Pet Sounds because everyone loves Sgt. Pepper. Then you hear Paul McCartney talking about Pet Sounds. Like when Robbie and I were in high school together, like I go in the library and read liner notes and to Pet Sounds, and McCartney's describing the genius of it. But no one really talked about Odessey and Oracle because it was just kind of, what year was that, like 95? We were in high school, 94. So Odessey and Oracle only came to light to me. I went through this like hardcore mod 60s phase, and like I only listened to music from like 66, 65, you know, so like you listen to like the Creation, the Action, the Who and all that, Small Faces. And once you get through all that kind of like mod freak beat stuff, you're kind of looking for something else, and that's when I rediscovered Pet Sounds, and that's when you start, everyone knew Time of the Season, but then it was because of Paul Weller actually. I was going through a crazy jam phase, and Paul Weller brought me to the Kinks. Or no, the Kinks brought me to the Jam. I don't remember what it was. They're all connected somehow, but Paul Weller name-dropping Small Faces and Odessey Oracle in the same breath. And so, I can't remember what it was, but I bought the record and just put it on, and it was like nothing else I've ever heard. I mean, just how it starts. It's funny, my wife Kirsten and I started dating around that time, and the first mix CD I made for her, the first song was Carousel 44, just because that was like, you know, it's something... It's interesting, you know, there's a story to the song. You don't know what it's about at first. You think the guy's in jail, but it's actually the girl's in jail, and they're writing the letter, and it's kind of all this thing. But it was actually Brief Candles that really got me, and Robbie and I were in a band together, and this album we put out, New Devotion, a lot of references were made to Odessey and Oracle. I don't know intentionally the songwriter, but my bass lines were all ripped off of Odessey and Oracle, so it's like something very special. And so it was in 2001, the Zombies reunited, and my band at the time, the Datsuns, we actually got to open up for them in New York City. We opened 2 shows up, and it was totally surreal. I mean, it was different. They were like backed by like Tina Turner's guitar player, so it wasn't that great, but it was an experience in itself because Chris White was there, and Rod Argent and Colin were performing, and I had my copy of Odessey and Oracle. I should have brought it. I got it signed by them. I was a total geek and just freaking out. I was like wearing a 3-piece suit, and like I probably looked like they looked on that one on the first album with the bowl cut. She can probably. I had a bowl cut, and like I was just freaking out and met them. I remember this is not a musician story at all. It's just me rambling. But we left the venue, and I remember I was so nervous talking to Arjun. I was talking about electric pianos. I was like, did you use a Wurlitzer on She's Not There? He's like, no, I used an Honor pianette because it's a lot more snappy. I was like, of course. It all made sense to me. And I remember I left and I came back. And I said, I have so many stories. But I came back, and then there was Rod in his wife beater and tighty whities drinking a glass of red wine. And there was me just standing, and I was like, I forgot something. He goes, oh, please, as you were. And he was like, so polite, such gentlemen. It's Colin Blunstone. I mean, they're eccentric rock and roll legends, right? So there's a lot of eccentricities there, as I'm sure we all are a bit on our own way. But they made this record that's like stood the test of time, and I haven't listened to it in a while until Ralph asked me to do this, and it's always a breath of fresh air. I mean, especially this time of year. I mean, it really just clears things out for you. So. It's an autumn record, as someone pointed out, but it's also a record for all seasons. So, Odessey and Oracle.